Yeah, turn the sirens on, think the flash is going. Fire engine, grab my man Ken behind the wheel, grooving. Night falls and the ghost hunting begins. You know the drill is on, let the spirit win. Lights and sirens blaring through the night, cruising with the fire, chief engine tight. Ken Smith at the wheel, focused on the ride, got his cam and his gadgets. They'll never hide, ghost hunting the shadows. You know he's got skills, spirit capture on his grace. You know he's fulfilled, blaze of light, engine wars, reach entire spirits afloat. Ken's on the trail, ain't leaving a stone unturned. You feel the burden, you feel the yearning. He's the ghost master, you know he's on it. In the night, with the sirens flaring, finds 10 ghost hunters, he's on the case. Catching the spirits, he's the best in the race. Cameras flashing, lights on the dash. Got his first responder gear, you know he's never rash. Ken Smith, the ghost hunting pro, don't you forget. Got his fire crew skills, ain't no regrets. Engine's a beast, spirits like shoals. Ken the chief, the top ghost goals. Ken's the king of darker night. Sirens blaring, spirits take flight. Officer Smith, the ghost grab, leave the rest. Light 'em up, afraid to stay for the quest. Ken Smith, the ghost hunter pro, cruising with the light show. Ghost and engine, between the night. Got the shots, got the thrill of might. Ken Smith, the master of dark, spirits clear, they can't hide in the spark. YouTube's name, you know he got. Ghost hunting, engine roaring hot. Cruising the night, feels the vibe, you know he's been. Ken Smith, he's on it, ain't never seen. Night vision, aim for EMF, all the shots. Ken's pro gear, he's the ghost charges. Pro and vetting, the spirits chase. Ken's at the lead, he's in the pace. Captures extra, all his pride. Got the best crew, you know he's inside. No ghost is safe, Ken's the ringleader. Ghost hunting all night leader. My man Ken, he's got the trick. Ghost hunting is his kick. That's when the real Ken Smith shines. Spirit world, engines all night. Ken's a pro, you know the right. Ghosts will hide, he knows their path. Ken's the pro, you know it's looking bad. Got his ghost gear, Ken's the first. Picks up the cities they can't insert. He's the master, Ken's the best. Leaves the rest, he's the crest. Ken takes the shot, you know he's tight. Got more views, you know he's right. Engine roaring, spirit sailing, that's when you know Ken's on the trail. Ken Smith, the ghost hunter pro, cruising with the light show. Ghost and engine, between the night. Got the shots, got the thrill of might. Ken Smith, the master of dark, spirits clear, they can't hide in the spark. YouTube's name, you know he got. Ghost hunting, engine roaring hot. Cruising the night, feels the vibe, you know he's been. Ken Smith, he's on it, ain't never seen. My man Ken, ghost hunting on the highway. Sirens blaring, spirits roaring. Got the ghost, got the streams going. Nothing beats cruising Ken. It's fire! It's fire at Ken Smith Games. It's fire in a virtual world where the smoke rolls high. Ken Smith Games. It's fire captain in the games.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another SLRP stream. Gonna give my usual disclaimer while we're waiting for things to get started. This is gonna be a not high energy stream. It's as a matter of fact, let me leave myself. It's a court day. Not a lot, not gonna be a lot of tremendously exciting stuff. There's no sit down. There's no role play that takes place, anything like that. We're just here, listen, spectate some court cases, see what Los Santos Finance is up to, see who's gonna be fighting tickets and all that good stuff. So it'll be a fairly low energy type of stream. it's an opportunity to give a different perspective and some different things that we do in the SLRP. Sure. Cody Beerman, Chris Tolbert. How's it going, gentlemen? Thanks for stopping by. We can see Rosalie up there cleaning the bench.
Alright, Jess, you guys take care, okay? Jay, is that you? Tell me on time to come watch me.
I'm good, Cody.
No.
One day.
Let's fire him next time, LT.
Yep.
I can still hear you guys.
I know. That's 5 push-ups. Up in front of everybody.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
That's fair.
Distance. Hello. What's your name? Mission right now? You're like in like a explorers program. You look 12. You like an explorers program or something? Actually. See, you look like you're 12. Excuse you. Hey, honey. Like your glasses.
You still on probation,
Thank you,
Justina?
darling.
What's that?
You still on probation?
Oh no.
All right. Good job.
Hello, sir.
Hello, man.
Those boots, darling.
Oh my god, I could have so much contraband in here. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this Colonel Sanders looking motherfucker over here. I'm gonna stand right by this little wannabe cop. Justina?
Assassin Phoenix, how's it going, sir? Thanks for stopping by.
You smell nice. What you doing later?
Oh, has it? That's not
What you
fun.
doing later?
Hey, he's a deputy 3. He doesn't make much money.
Can you keep getting in my way? Is you have a problem?
I'm sorry, what exactly are you?
You excuse the fuck out of me?
Oh no.
Yeah, you mind giving me some space? You're the one that came up to me.
Is this enough space for you?
No, I want you to, like, not next to me.
Since you're so nice. How's that? Is that enough space for you?
Yeah, I just don't know why you want to sit next to me.
Why not?
There's, like, 6 empty seats behind me, another 6 in front of me.
I want to sit
It's
right, I
like,
want to sit right here.
it's like parking right next to me in an open parking lot.
So?
That's what this is.
Justina, how you doing?
Hey, boo! What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my god, I knew I
security
smelled
is-
something.
Okay, that's being cordial.
I'm not talking
Justina?
about you. I'm talking to Lori.
Hey, can
Did
we
you not
get,
smell? You
get
shut the fuck
her
up.
moved
Can you
from
shut
me,
the fuck up?
please?
Justina, we're cordial. Sir, she
Nope.
can sit wherever.
Whoa, you need
That's
to
what
I
I
watch
just
your
don't want her
mouth.
sitting next
fuck
to
are you
me.
talking to?
She's harassing
I
me.
understand, sir. Here, how about we do this? You
I
can
could throw
stand
hands
up,
at everyone.
and you can move chairs that we won't for
I'll
sure.
move
if
in
you
front.
Justina, let's be cordial, please.
Want. Awesome.
Everyone's talking to me a certain way. I'm gonna talk to them a certain way.
I'm being nothing but respectful to you.
Excuse me.
This guy in front of me was like, "Watch my mouth."
You're the
That's
one
why
that
that's why
came
he's
right in
moved.
front of me.
Justina.
Sir, sit down.
That's what I'm saying. Sit your ass down.
Face that way over there.
Hey,
Hi,
Lori.
Justina, can I sit next to you?
Please, honey. Did you shower today? Oh, you meant like right next to me.
Excuse me.
Galvin in her blonde hair is talking shit.
Just can hear you.
The one bent over right now. That's
The left-
Deputy
one-
Stolas.
No, the one to the left.
Oh, to my
I still
left.
hear you.
I don't
Oh,
care
hello.
if you can
What's
hear
your
me.
name? My name is Lori.
My name is Nathan.
Lori,
Hi, Yes, sir.
can you take off your hat, please?
Okay, I might have to
I
move
demand
over
don't
one.
Do it. Fine.
Well, can I go comb my hair? I got people.
Oh my god,
fleas.
she's got lice. Oh my god.
Go comb your hair.
Oh my.
Can you have this man removed from the court, please? Smells like old farts in here.
Oh god.
Don't say my name like you know me.
What are you doing later? Oh, that's. I bet.
Deputy Kavanaugh for, go to, and get this going. Oh, my apologies, didn't catch that. What was that?
It's kind of cool.
He said,
to be
"Do
able
the
to-
thing."
Be able to hear
We're good to
the
get this going here.
police radios.
Chairs ready.
We don't get to hear that too much.
All stand.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. This honorable court, being the superior court of the state of San Andreas in the city of Los Santos, is now open and sitting for the dispatch of business. God save the state and this honorable court. The Honorable Judge Rehnquist presiding. You may be seated.
Alright, you folks can all have a seat. Thank you for the salute.
You're welcome.
Alright folks, this is the Superior Court, State of San Andreas in Los Santos. Today we are doing traffic and criminal docket.
7-2, I believe, yeah, something like that.
So without any further ado, here I'll call the first case. It's 0060, and I believe the deputy is in the court.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Alright, and our defendant is a Mindy Malone. Is Miss Malone here?
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to step forward for me?
Cutie with the booty.
So we are here today for a trial for traffic infractions. I will read those for the record here.
I move over.
It's alleged before me that on or about 28th of May this year at 17:02 hours that you did fail to yield the right of way to an emergency vehicle. I just want to remind you, since you don't have a lawyer, you have the right to not say anything. You have the right to ask for evidence or witnesses to be brought forward in your own defense. Although it's a bit more limited than a criminal trial. It's got to be stuff immediately relevant here. You are willing to proceed without hiring a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Since you're representing yourself, I won't have you sworn in unless you're going to give testimony. Do you plan on giving testimony in your own defense, or just argue the case?
Just argue the case, Your Honor.
Alright. Alright, since the government is bringing these charges, I'll have Corporal Stolz address the court first. Yes, can you folks not hear me? Is this thing not working?
Oh, we can hear you.
Small, this microphone.
I can hear you, honey.
I believe your microphone was not working until just now, Your Honor. Thank you. Okay.
Were you able to hear me?
Yes, Your Honor. We were able to hear you up front. Folks in the far back might have had trouble.
It's fairly hard to hear you from back here, Your Honor.
Alright, so basically what I just summarized was the charge before the court today. It's an infraction for fail to yield the right of way to an emergency vehicle. And we'll hear from the citation.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you want to swear me in first?
Alrighty. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state that the testimony you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright, Corporal Stolz, if you'd like to give us the rundown here.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon. My name is Dennis Stolas. I'm employed as a corporal with the Los Santos County Sheriff's Office and have been so employed since May of 2022. On May 28th, 2025, at approximately 1700 hours, I was on duty, in uniform with a badge displayed and operating a marked Sheriff's Office patrol motorcycle while traveling on Great Ocean Highway northbound. Great Ocean Highway is a public highway in the county of Los Santos in the state of San Andreas. The facts of the case are this. At the above-mentioned date and time, I was following a purple four-door sedan bearing San Andreas license plate 58 Boy David Charles 186. While following this vehicle, I noticed that there were no month or year stickers on the license plate, which indicated to me this vehicle was likely unregistered. Prior to me initiating a stop on the vehicle for the suspected violation of driving without registration near the 1003 area, a Los Santos County Fire Department vehicle was approaching us with lights and siren active. The driver of the purple car, who I later identified as Mindy Malone, who's here in the courtroom standing to my left, failed to yield right-of-way to the emergency vehicle by failing to pull to the right-hand edge of the highway and stop her vehicle. I initiated my emergency lights and conducted a stop on the vehicle. I ultimately issued a citation to the defendant for failure to yield to an emergency vehicle. I would like to admit body-worn camera video as evidence. I have marked this video as State's Proposed Exhibit 1, and it was attached to the case file.
As
I've
we've
realized...
lost the judge for a second
yeah,
now, yes,
at what
we
point
should
did we
probably
lose him?
pause. Just about a minute ago.
Okay. I've been preparing this all day. I could read that again.
He might have fallen down back there. Is he okay?
Check on him.
I can take over.
Oh, he's good. He's picking something up off the ground. He'll be back up in a second.
He
found a Dutch penny down there.
Guilty. Guilty.
I took my hat off and I had to brush through the fleas.
I'd be a good judge.
I have no doubt.
Everyone's fucking going to jail. Hey, do you smell her? Excuse me, sir.
Justina, have a seat, please.
Who the fuck? You know what? Just because you said that.
Okay, I think the judge found a stroop waffle on the ground and he is back.
Alright, sorry about that. If you want to continue, Corporal.
Yes, Your Honor. What was the last part of the testimony you heard?
See me not sitting?
I only heard up to, like, you were given your preamble.
Ah, very well.
Please have a seat, Justina.
All right. I'm just gonna start over just so the record's clear and Your Honor has all the facts.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. No. Good afternoon again. My name is Dennis Stolas. I'm employed as a corporal with the Los Santos County Sheriff's Office and have been so employed since May 2022. On May 28th, 2025, at approximately 1700 hours, I was on duty, in uniform with badge displayed, and was operating a marked Sheriff's Office patrol motorcycle. I was traveling northbound on Great Ocean Highway. Great Ocean Highway is a public highway in the county of Los Santos in the state of San Andreas. The facts of the case are this. At the above-mentioned date and time, I was following a purple four-door sedan bearing San Andreas license plate 58 Boy David Charles 186. While following this vehicle, I noticed that there were no month or year stickers present on the rear license plate, indicating to me that the vehicle may be unregistered. Prior to me initiating the traffic stop near 1003 Great Ocean Highway, a Los Santos County Fire Department vehicle was approaching us with lights and sirens active. The driver of the purple car, who I later identified as Mindy Malone via her San Andreas driver's license, failed to yield the right-of-way to the emergency vehicle by pulling to the right-hand edge of the highway and stopping. I can confirm the individual I issued the citation to, Mindy Malone, is present in the courtroom to my left. I initiated emergency lights and conducted a stop on the vehicle and ultimately issued a citation to the defendant for failure to yield to an emergency vehicle. I would like to admit body-worn camera video as evidence. I have marked that as state's proposed Exhibit 1, and it was entered into the case file.
Ms. Malone, you have any objection to that footage being entered into evidence?
No, Your Honor.
Without objection, it will be entered as State's Exhibit 1.
And with that said, Your Honor, I'd like to publish it and ask that you review it, and as well as it is available to the defendant.
That is so ordered. Just give me 1 second, I'll pull it up on Java.
Thank you.
Nobody, don't say it, don't tell the rest to you. I don't want to go to jail.
And Ms. Malone, you have access to this footage, right? On the screen up there.
Yes, Your Honor.
I reviewed that. I'm assuming you both have had a chance to see it. Do you have anything further, Corporal, or is that your case?
State rests, but we do reserve the right to rebuttal if the defendant makes a statement.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Malone, I have it on file here just as the way the traffic cases work is we're assuming by you appearing here that you're entering a not guilty plea as the defendant. Now, as your own pro se counsel, you can choose to make a statement, introduce evidence, referring to case law that shows ways that you might not be liable for the violation here. If you have anything like that, now would be to bring that up, and if you just want to, the only thing to be careful of is because you haven't been sworn in, I need you to be limiting
So,
to just
for those of you who
arguments and
cannot see
testifying
the
from
video
bench
clip
there.
that was submitted to evidence, it portrays
If you want to introduce testimony that
the
does
defendant
bring you up to being prosecuted
driving
by the officer who
down the highway
represented
on a
your
road,
client.
and a fire
So
apparatus
it's up
coming
to you
towards
how
her
you
in the
want to
opposite
proceed.
direction.
But if you want to do that, we can get you sworn in
And
this
she
way.
did not
I just want to make sure before you start telling
pull
me
off to the side of the road for that apparatus.
as an attorney here.
I am not testifying as attorney.
Okay. All right, go ahead. What you got for me?
Your Honor, I would like to reference California Vehicle Code 21806. It says a driver must
We're in
reasonably
San Andreas, Your Honor.
perceive the vehicle and have time to react. It was not a refusal to yield. I just did not have time to react. I became aware of the fire truck, but it was already well past me when it had registered the siren. I was driving lawfully and attentively, and it passed by in seconds. I had no time to yield safely without creating a hazard for myself or others. The statute requires yielding when reasonably possible and not panic. This infraction was not the primary reason for my stop, as the deputy indicated, and no immediate danger was posed. The fire truck continued traveling in the opposite lane of travel and never entered my lane of traffic.
State has an objection, Your Honor.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm not sure to what statute the defendant just referenced. We're in the state of San Andreas. Any other statute would be irrelevant.
That's noted.
Thank you.
He's getting technical.
We'll just adjust that on the record administratively there. Ms. Malone, which part of 21806 are you referring to?
Would be 01, Your Honor.
A1?
Yes, sir. If I may, I would also like to reference a United States Department of Transportation study that was done where the average signal attenuation through closed windows resulted
Objection.
in a maximal effective siren
Relevance.
penetration. Give me a moment, Deputy. Of
Okay.
siren penetration distance of 26 to 46 feet. Findings showed that this sound penetration did not leave adequate.
Your Honor, the state must insist on the objection.
All right, Ms. Malone, what's the relevance?
It's beyond relevance, Your Honor. She is not an expert to that, and she's not qualified to read this study and to testify to it today.
The effective range
without
of its
having
audible wording devices.
without having the expert witness here to testify to it. The court should not be able to take that into account.
All right.
May I finish, Your Honor?
So what he's doing is he's raising a point about if you want to introduce something like this, you have to usually bring somebody who is qualified to explain it if I had questions. Based on what I have, unless you can point me to something else, I'm afraid I'm going to have to sustain the state's objection there. Do you have anything further you want to add, Ms. Malone?
No, I just wanted to say my failing to yield was not intentional or negligent. It was just the emergency vehicle was already out of sight by the time it registered. There was a siren. There was no clear danger caused, and this was not the primary reason for my stop.
Okay. And it was a divided highway, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Looked like that from the footage.
Who's not divided, Your Honor?
4-lane though, right?
Correct.
What is it over there? 3?
It was 4, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So let me have a look at what we've got here, and then I'll let you folks know what I'm going to do, unless the state wants to, or Corporal Solis wants to follow up on any of that.
Closing, Your Honor.
Sure.
Thank you, Your Honor. As you're well aware, having sat on the bench for a long time now, the relevance of intentional or negligent, I should rephrase that. Traffic law is strict liability. Her intent is irrelevant. There was an emergency vehicle approaching, as we saw in the video, on a straightaway. There was probably over a mile of visibility. That emergency vehicle was approaching in the number 1 lane while the defendant was in the number 2 lane. Again, referencing back to the video, the siren, and the lights, it's all there. So, again, it all goes back to my my closing statement is that her meaningfulness is irrelevant here. Her intent, I should say, pardon me, intent is relevant.
You aware of any affirmative defenses to this statute?
From the top of my head, Your Honor, I am not.
Alright. If that's all you've got for your closing arguments, Ms. Malone, you give you the same opportunity.
Your Honor, if you view the video, you will see I am in the furthest lane of travel, and the fire truck was also in the furthest lane of travel. So there were 2 lanes between us.
Alright.
I would like to add that I remained attentive and responded to traffic conditions appropriately.
Alright, you can go back to your spot there. So here's what we're gonna do. What Corporal Stoller told me about the strict liability of
Yeah,
traffic
usually it
offenses
doesn't matter what side of the road you're on, you need to
vehicle code unless it's expressed
pull over.
otherwise by the state legislature. I did review the video and
to make sure the apparatus has room to pass.
21806 says upon the immediate approach
That
of an
includes
authorized
opposing
emergency
lanes.
vehicle, which is meeting the requirements of other parts of the vehicle code about emergency lighting and sirens, surrounding traffic shall, except as otherwise directed by a traffic officer, do the following. Except as required under paragraph 2, which I'll get to. The driver of every other vehicle shall yield the right of way and shall immediately drive to the right hand edge or curb of the highway, clear of any intersection, and thereupon shall stop and remain stopped until the authorized emergency vehicle is passed. So the way that I read this and the way that I understand it from the video, I can certainly see some mitigating factors, and you weren't able to react until after the thing was, the fire truck was basically on top of you. But I can't do statutory construction here. It does say shall immediately drive to the right hand edge and stop thereupon and remain stopped. I mean, I watched the footage there, and you definitely were in the far lane, like you said, but it is still in violation of 21806A1. Now, I looked at your driving history, Ms. Malone. I don't see any other contact with law enforcement for any traffic-related anything in there. So what I'll do is I will find you guilty, but I'm only going to impose a fine of $50 instead of the $500. You need to just try to be a little careful with that. If you ever have a situation like that again, I see what you mean about not having time to react, but you gotta at least slow way down if you can't reasonably move. And there wasn't much traffic around you that was making it harder for you to get over as well. So I put the mitigating factors on there, but I will find you guilty for this citation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I object.
Alright, so Ms. Malone, if you just pay that to the clerk of the court on your way out, we should be able to get you taken care of, get you out of here, and I can move on to these other ones. And then you can always, if you want to get that expunged, there's always defensive driving classes you can sign up for. The court clerk will also have some pamphlets and information on that. You have any questions I can answer for you?
Could you repeat what you just said, please?
Yes. So in finding you guilty of 21806A1 because of the language there, it's very clear. Shall is a command. It's not an if you can thing. But I am, because of the mitigating circumstances, I'm going to reduce your fine from $500 to $50.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you coming in.
Yellow.
Those pants.
Oh, I thought he was coming to talk to me.
Mr. Pearson, hello, sir.
Your Honor, how are you?
Very well.
He sounds just like that.
Deputy Stolas is a lot shorter.
Here's bigger. Did I get him patootie back there in the corner?
That's Judge Request.
No.
Mr. Pearson, you just missed him, but Corporal Stolas we just had for a trial here. I have you on my docket for sentencing for it, but I did that from the bench here, so we'll move on to the next one we have. Call 0130.
Oh my god, I'm going back to my seat.
Your Honor, I think there's a traffic case 0061 that's supposed to be on for a plea and sentencing. It's
Oh, okay.
it was cited
yeah,
in
I
as
misread that.
criminal, but we're gonna do a little switcheroo here, I think.
I don't know, switching.
Alright, I got it. That is... Paul Burke, are you here, sir?
Yes, Judge, I'm here.
Make sure you shout for me in the courtroom.
Yes, Judge, I'm here.
Alright, if you want to step forward. Mr. Burke, I see you don't
didn't
have
say
an attorney.
anything.
Are you willing to proceed without a lawyer here?
Oh,
Yes, Judge, I'll just proceed by myself.
So we're just doing plea and sentencing, I take it. Mr. Burke, I'll just remind you of the right to remain silent. Anything you do say here will be used as evidence against you by that gentleman. You don't have the right to an attorney because, well, actually you're charged with reckless driving, so you do if you want an attorney, but, Mr. Pearson, you were saying?
I was gonna say, Your Honor, what we're gonna end up doing here is I'd like to make a motion to amend the citation at this time to an infraction.
That makes my life easier. You have any objection, Mr. Burke? It shouldn't.
None, Judge. None, no, Judge.
Okay. Alright, well, without objection there, that's approved. So we'll treat this as the infraction. So, I will go back to what I said the first time. You don't have the right to a lawyer of your, excuse me, you have the right to a lawyer at your own expense, but if you want to proceed without one, I'll take that as a knowing and conscientious waiver. We'll proceed today. Mr. Pearson, want to speak about this plea deal? Give a rundown for me.
Absolutely, Your Honor. I've had this came across my desk earlier today. I had a chance to review the defendant's driving record and the facts of the case. This has to do with an off-road driving incident leading to a motor vehicle collision between the defendant's vehicle and a tree. While the facts of the case, in my opinion, do meet the requirement for reckless driving, just based on the lack of criminal history and the deputy's contact with the individual, I'm comfortable making the aforementioned motion to reduce to an infraction. I would request the presumptive fine in this matter, but of course, leave that up to you.
Mr. Burke, do you plan on giving any kind of testimony here? I mean, we're not trying you, but I just want to make sure if you're going to tell me about what happened, that we have you sworn in.
No, Judge. I don't plan to say anything.
All right. How would you like to plead to this, with this deal that the state has set out for you?
Oh.
It's a little slippery over there, I know.
This kind of windy AC in here. Judge, I'd like to enter a plea of guilty. I talked to Mr. Pearson over the phone, and he said we could do some sort of plea bargain with the...
Oh, fuck. Stand by, folks. Yeah, it's been doing that occasionally.
I flew off a trail going 60 plus.
Alright, and you would agree with the state's contention that that's reckless?
Yes, Judge, I would agree.
Alright. I will find you guilty then. Mr. Pearson, I'm looking at a fine of between $145 to $1,000. What's the state's recommendation there?
Let me see, Your Honor.
Yeah, he's nice.
I believe the only thing I saw on his record was actually something that came in after this event, which was a parking
Looks
ticket,
like a
I
parking
believe.
ticket.
Yeah. So, Your Honor, we're between 145 and 1,000. The state would suggest a $275 fine.
Mr. Burke, you're able to pay something like that?
Yes, Judge, I can pay that fine.
What do you do for a living? You have a job or anything?
So I do mechanics. I work on trucks.
How much do you make a week?
I make roughly $18 a week, or no, sorry, $18 an hour. So a week.
Oh, I
Sorry, I'm kind of a little bit nervous today.
Boss was. I was gonna have some questions for but,
No, that'd be
18
messed up,
an
Judge.
hour, and you work what, like 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, or you work?
That's correct, Judge. We do exactly that.
All right. Would it pose an undue burden on you if I impose a $275 fine?
No, Judge. I should be able to take care of that.
Okay. All right. I will accept the state's recommendation then and fine you $275, and we will discharge the citation or the infraction at that point. That will go on your record as a conviction. There are defensive driving school programs available if you want to enter into those. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, Judge. I understand completely.
All right. Just make sure you see the clerk on your way out. You can pay the fine there. Pick up some brochures on the defensive driving traffic school stuff if you are interested in doing that.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you taking the time to come down here and speak with me.
Have a good day, Judge. Thank you, Mr. Pearson.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Burke. Have a good day.
You too.
Mr. Dalton, are you here, sir?
Yes, Your Honor, right here.
Alright, I'm gonna call 0130 for the DUI diversion. I believe that's your case.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Alright, step forward. Mr. Dalton, I don't think we've had the pleasure so far. You want to give me your bar number so I can make sure we have your records correct with you?
Yes, of course, Your Honor. Nicholas Dalton. Bar number is going to be 975945.
Ember Rose, how's it going, man?
And is your client here, Ms. Winslow?
I understand she is present in the court today. Your Honor, I'm understanding my client is having some hearing issues right now. If you wouldn't mind just giving us a moment to sort these matters out.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, Your Honor, I understand. We're going to be good to proceed now.
All right. You said you're ready to proceed?
That is correct.
And, ma'am, you are Diane Winslow?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ma'am, you can have a seat if you'd like while your attorney and the state's attorney here handle this case.
My balls itch.
Actually, Mr. Dalton, do you plan to have her testify
Yeah,
today?
she's too.
for any reason?
I apologize, Your Honor, I missed that.
Are you planning to have Ms. Winslow testify at all today?
No, sir.
Alright. So we are doing a revocation for a DUI diversion. Let me just make sure I have the records in front of me. Alright, so Ms. Winslow, we're here today for a revocation petition on your DUI diversion. I'll just remind you of the rights you waived by pleading guilty. You've given up your right to a speedy and public trial by jury, although I will be evaluating what's going on here. The right to see, hear, and face in open court witnesses called to testify against you. The right to use the power and process of the court to compel it in your favor. Your right to have the assistance of a lawyer at all stages, and that when appointed, but you do have a lawyer. So you've basically
Turning
given
me
up
straight
the
to-
right
oh
to
my.
force the state to prove
I
your
mean, at
guilt
least it's
beyond a
it's
reasonable doubt.
beneficial. So
What we're looking at here is the maximum possible sentence is 364 days in jail and a fine of $1,000. I am required by state law to impose at least a $100 fine if I find the state's allegations to revoke to be true. However, the sentence in custody is something that I will determine if we need to go that far. Now, I understand this was a first-time DUI, and I did give you a whole bunch of conditions, so I will let the state speak to that. But what I want you to just keep in mind is we're not doing guilty or not guilty today. This is just whether the allegations made by the state as to you potentially violating this agreement, whether they are true or not true. There's also immigration consequences attached, but I believe last time you told me you are a U.S. citizen, so we will skip that part. Alright, Mr. Pearson, you want to speak to the show cause here?
Thank you, Judge. We're here. Pardon me. We're here under a show cause motion that I had filed and was granted with two allegations. First one is on or about 15th of February of this year, the defendant violated her diversion requirements by being by being under the influence of alcohol per a Corporal Stolas's report 53239, and that on the same date the defendant violated the terms of diversion by failing to submit to a breath test at the request of Corporal Stolas. There were reports filed with additional information that can come out later if they need to. Based on the diversion petition that the defendant filed with her previous attorney, Mr. Zimmerman, the defendant agreed to not consume or possess alcohol and to submit to breath tests or other bodily substance testing. What we have here, Your Honor, is someone who almost right off the bat after being entered into diversion, went out, got drunk, violated diversion, and this was actually the whole thing was a call for service that law enforcement got regarding a stalking allegation by the defendant. That's neither here nor there. But Your Honor, what we have here is someone who clearly didn't heed your advice and did not care about this diversion petition. That being said, while we are well past the end date, I understand the court's docket has been extremely full. Per the diversion petition, even if a defendant is to violate diversion, they are allowed a one-time extension if the defense can articulate that the defendant has made a good faith effort to comply with diversion. I will say that my office has been receiving a lot of treatment reports as of late saying that Ms. Winslow is doing very well in treatment, working on handling this substance abuse issue that she has. So, while my position, Your Honor, she should be revoked and sentenced, and I'll withhold my sentencing recommendation until if and when we get there, I would defer to the court that you do have that right to offer her a one-time extension to meet all the requirements and to earn a dismissal of this DUI.
Mr. Dalton, would you like to give some context here? Tell me what you're looking for.
Yes, Your Honor. I would appreciate the court to hear my recommendation and explanation on the matter. So my client, Ms. Winslow, has showed efforts towards fighting her horrible disease of alcoholism, and she is making an effort to better herself. Since the circumstances, she's checked herself into a rehab center, a Maple Leaf Manor. This is, as far as I'm aware, a prestigious rehab center focused on alcoholism and drug addiction. In efforts to beat her alcoholism, she has been provided with support groups, constant therapy, 24-hour on-call nurses and psychiatrists. The district attorney office has been provided with these copies of her progress from her personal doctor, therapist, and psychiatrist, and she has since proven with her ongoing efforts that she wants to beat this disease on her own accord. I believe it would be a great injustice to have her stripped from this facility to fulfill any kind of sentencing imposed by the courts at this time. We asked to have Ms. Winslow remain in the DUI diversion program, and if it satisfies the court, remain in the custody of the Maple Leaf Manor until the completion of her program. Resources are provided by this facility, allowing Ms. Winslow to enter into a sober living house on completion of her rehab, and any kind of withdrawal at this time would greatly and negatively impact her progress. I always like to think rehabilitation over incarceration, Your Honor, and at a minimum, we ask to delay any form of sentencing until the successful completion of her 90-day program implemented by the Maple Leaf Manor's doctors and addiction specialists. We ask the court to understand that a withdrawal from this facility, either by her own choice or by the recommendations of the DA or the courts, will result in her not being able to enter back into the program due to their extensive waiting lists.
All right. As to the state's allegation that Ms. Winslow did violate her diversion agreement, Mr. Dalton, are you pleading true or not true?
I apologize, Your Honor. Can you repeat that?
Yes, so where the state is making the allegation, they're saying that your client, Ms. Diane Winslow, did violate her diversion agreement. Would you contend that is a true allegation or not a true allegation?
We would plead no contest on the matter, Your Honor.
So you'll admit that it's true, but you don't want to plead that. That's fine. I can work with that.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I will accept that she did violate the terms of the diversion agreement. However, and looking at these mitigating factors, Mr. Dalton, I have a question for you. why should she not be in an inpatient rehab? Because I see the note from the manor here, and they're talking about intensive outpatient programs. Why would we not do it inpatient if she's already had one stumble on the way back here?
Your Honor, the facility that she's administered into right now is offering her a bunch of resources that we think is going to best and most effectively help her towards her goals that she's set out for herself.
Does she have a job? What is she doing when she's not there?
As of right now, she is going to be administered to the facility on a 24-hour watch, and she is not currently working.
Oh, so it will be inpatient.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sleeping there and everything.
Yes, Your Honor.
Alright, did we already fit her with a scram bracelet?
No, sir. At this time, she does not have a scram bracelet or any kind of monitoring.
Okay, has she been doing any of like a 12-step program?
Nice. All right, Wayne.
Alcoholics Anonymous?
That's correct. I understand she is under some kind of 12-step program. She's following the directions and the procedures of the facility that's set out for her personal. Your Honor, if I may too, I understand that the facility also offers and provides weekly drug tests for all their patients in the facility at this time.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer this extension on the diversion just the one time, like Mr. Pearson said. If we're back here a third time, I'm just going to put her in jail. We had any reports from the facility that she's had any other relapses since then while she's been under their care?
No, sir. Your Honor, as far as I'm aware, she hasn't had any relapse or failed drug tests, at least come to my attention. All the documentation provided to my client and then to me has been forwarded to the district attorney's office. They should have copies of all the recommendations, the results, and how well she's doing throughout her time there.
And I have received that.
Mr. Pearson, how long was the original diversion supposed to run?
The original diversion period, Your Honor, is 45 days, and I believe statute does cover the extension. I just need to review the
Is it 90 days on the extension or 180? I gotta look.
I believe in our state, Your Honor, it's 15. But Your Honor has that judicial authority to make that something longer to fit any requirements you impose.
Alright. So Ms. Winslow and Mr. Dalton here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to order that you continue to be in the inpatient program at the Maple Leaf Manor. So you need to continue with your therapy that they're providing. You will do the drug and alcohol testing that they ask for, and you will submit to drug and alcohol testing every 2 weeks with the court. I will give the facility instructions on making sure that they bring you down here and get you in touch with the pretrial services staff. So I will order you to be in their inpatient program until they assess you to be done with it, and then I will order you to be in a sober living home. I will make the initial period 6 months, but you can always have your lawyer come back to me if there's significant evidence that you've gotten further with your fight against this nasty little disease. You will be required to wear a scram ankle monitor bracelet, so it has a GPS tether on it, and it uses your it analyzes the sweat from your skin, so I'll know right away if you're drinking alcohol or somehow magically you get a blood alcohol content and you tell me it's a miracle and you don't know how it happened, or nobody told you they put alcohol in that drink. That's not going to be good enough. If you set that thing off, or if you test positive when you come to court, I will put you in prison. I want you to get a chance to get better with the right support and everything, but one thing I will not tolerate is people getting second chance, or even in your case a third chance, and then blowing it off. I understand it's a nasty disease, but I need you to work with me here to repay the debt to society, the whole thing. So those conditions will continue, and then adding the spam. You are responsible for making sure that that's charged. It uses cellular signals, so you don't have to worry about like Wi-Fi or anything. It should work at your spot at the Maple Leaf Manor. And then I will require, looks like you're already doing it, but I will require you to complete a 12-step program. So usually that's Alcoholics Anonymous. There are some other options if you want to choose them. There's a bunch of literature about that with free trial services. And then I will ask for the copy of your relapse prevention plan that your social worker has written to me about here. Get that to pretrial services, get them to work with your social worker, and make sure we set you up for success here. If you do not, you're going to be spending at least 14 days in prison, because I am going a little bit out of my way here to give you some extra room. So what I'll do with that is I'll extend your diversion so it stops retroactively on the day that you were arrested. So we have the original period to run plus 60 additional days on before we are able to close this out, and obviously that'll be contingent on you not having violated any of the other conditions, and then it'll transform into just we'll revisit as a status conference once you're out of the inpatient program and into sober living, so we can hear how you're doing. All right, ma'am. I wish you the best of luck with fighting this thing. Mr. Dalton, Mr. Pearson, you have anything further for me on this matter?
Nothing.
No,
Stay
Your
on.
Honor.
Thank you.
All right, that is my judgment. That is so ordered. Mr. Dalton, make sure she shows up for her tests. If the facility is not working with you, let me know, and I will issue an order to them if it's necessary in this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we are all set here then, folks. Thanks for taking it from me.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may impose, would we be able to call 0154 next?
154.
Yes, Your Honor. This will be a fairly quick matter in the last one I have on the docket for the evening.
All right. We call State of San Andreas versus Nathan Armstrong. I have Mr. Robin for the defense on this case.
Yo, you need me to move, dog?
A little bit late.
You scooting through or you need me to move, dog? I can stand up.
Mr. Robin, this is, I believe, the first time I've had the pleasure of having you in my courtroom. Can I get you to make your appearance for my records?
Yes, Your Honor. Bar number 25114.
Can you just make sure you're shouting, please, sir?
Yeah, it's bar number 251114.
Perfect. All right. What are we doing here? Plea and sentencing on this one as well?
Yes, Your Honor. This is similar to a earlier case we had. Defendant was charged with a misdemeanor reckless driving. I reviewed the facts of the case and have extended a plea offer to defense to plead either guilty or no contest to the infraction version of reckless driving with an imposed $700 fine.
Mr. Robin, are you planning for your client to testify in any way? Just to make sure we don't have to swear him in.
No, Your Honor.
Alright. Mr. Armstrong, as you may have heard me say earlier, this is true for you too. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to consult with your attorney. Just be aware anything you do say can be used against you by that gentleman standing across from you.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, it's alleged that you were in violation of 23103 for reckless driving off-street parking facility. Mr. Robin, would you like to, or pardon me, Mr. Pearson, would you like to summarize what you have for me as far as the plea? You already gave me the $700 fine. Is there anything else you're asking for? Conditions, anything like that?
No, Your Honor. I think just a financial order in this matter would be sufficient.
Is his license suspended? Are you pushing for a suspension? What are we doing with that?
Based on this being reduced to an infraction, Your Honor, I would have no opposition to waiving this suspension in this case. I don't believe it would be in the interest of justice.
Alright. Mr. Robin, is your client prepared to accept the offer that the state has made?
Yes, Your Honor.
Alright. Mr. Armstrong, you understand by pleading guilty here, you give up certain rights, including the right to compel the power, or use the power of the court to compel witnesses and testimony in your favor. You give up your right to appeal this judgment. You give up certain other constitutional rights, and there are potential immigration consequences. Even though it's just an infraction, I have to read this all to you. What we're going to do here, if you understand everything I've read to you, is I'm going to ask how you plead, and then I'm going to ask you to give me a brief allocution. So I'm going to ask you to kind of tell me how you broke the law.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
So what is your plea as to the charge of reckless driving in an off-street parking facility?
Guilty.
I'll accept your plea guilty of being known and unconscious, and I find you guilty of this offense. You have a job, sir?
Yes, Your Honor, I do. I'm a fuel hauler. I transport fuel.
How much money do you make in a month?
In a month, roughly around it depends, around 44 to 46 a month. 4,600 a month.
Alright, I'm going to find that there's no extraordinary financial burden here. I'm going to accept the state's recommendation. You'll be assessed a $700 fine and $50 in court costs. We will not do anything to your driver's license. However, I will give you 30 days to pay. If you don't pay within 30 days, your license will be suspended until you are able to rectify that, with the possibility of an arrest warrant being issued for your failure to comply with the promise you're going to make here when you are accepting this plea deal. You understand all of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Alright, sir. I will accept your plea. I've entered a verdict of guilty, and you can, either your lawyer or you can pay the clerk of the court with the fine and the court costs, and we'll be all set here. Mr. Robin, Mr. Pearson, you have anything you want to add before we close this one out?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Alright. That will conclude 154.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. And that'll be it for me. I believe Mr. Portola has one matter he'll be being heard on this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pearson.
Thank you, Judge. See you next time.
Excuse me, I have some questions for you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good evening,
Have
Your
a
Honor.
nice day, sir. Mr. Portola, hello, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get up.
Nope.
What case do I have the pleasure of having you in my court? What number?
Zero.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get up. Sorry.
0150, Your Honor.
Sorry. Nope. Get out of here.
State versus Drake McNamara.
That's correct.
Crap, it goes to win.
Alright, is Mr. McNamee here?
But I am representing him.
Okay, he's signed a waiver of personal appearance with you.
Yes, sir.
Alright. And, ma'am, can you just recite your bar number so we can have it on the record?
Yes, sir. It is 518432.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, just to refresh the court here, we have submitted a plea offer for this, which it is our understanding will be accepted by defense today.
Very well. Mr. McNamee, am I saying your name correctly, sir?
Yes, sir.
Alright. You do understand you have the right to remain silent. You don't have to testify here, but you have the option to. If you do choose to testify, you could have witnesses introduced against you. You have the right to, through your lawyer, petition for subpoenas to be issued, use the power of the court to compel the production of witnesses or testimony. With all that in mind, are you ready to proceed?
I'm ready, Your Honor.
Alright, Mr. Portola, what do you have for me?
Mr. Portola, sorry, oh my god, I'm saying my own name, Your Honor. It must be late in the evening. I'll review the plea offer if that's okay with you.
Yes, please.
Alright, for count 1, which is DUI causing injury, the state would dismiss this with the plea of guilty or no contest to counts 2 and 3, and upon successful completion of a DUI diversion program. Count 2, resist, obstruct, or delay a peace officer or public offender. A plea of guilty or no contest would hold a fine of $1,000. Count 3, resist arrest, plead guilty or no contest, and another fine of another $1,000. And count 4, which is assault of a police officer, would be dismissed upon a plea of guilty or no contest. To summarize, Your Honor, this is 2 $1,000 fines and a DUI diversion program.
Ms. Biggs, would you care to address the court as to your position on this?
Your Honor, would you repeat, please?
Yeah, would you just like to give me your position as to this plea deal? What your client's gonna do here?
We accept and plead no contest.
So that's a no contest plea on
All charges.
counts 2 and counts 3, right?
Charge 2 and 3.
Okay. Mr. McNamee, nobody's made any promises to you, any threats. There's no kind of coercion that's been done to you to get you to accept this plea deal. You're choosing to accept this of your own free will.
Yes, Your Honor. I am.
Alright, I'll take that as a knowing and conscious waiver. You're giving up your right to appeal this decision. You're giving up your right to compel witnesses, testimony, document production. In the event you don't complete the diversion program, the original sentence will be imposed, which is 364 days maximum in the county jail, and the resist arrest and resist peace officer both will carry their respective maximum fine 1,000 to put before the case here. I just need a brief allocution from you, sir, as to how you violated the laws that the state's alleging you violated. I do understand you're pleading no contest, but I do need a factual allocution as to what happened so that I can, in good conscience, accept your explanation.
Okay, Your Honor. The thing is, I was quite intoxicated on the night in question, so my allocution would pretty much be I drank too much, I blacked out, I woke up in a prison cell.
So you
That's
accept
all I
the
can
state's
remember.
contention that you were driving drunk.
I accept the state's contention, yes.
Okay. And as to the other counts, you accept the state's contention?
Yes.
All right. I will accept the plea deal. I will impose $2,000 fine. Count 4 and count 1 will be dismissed. However, count 1 will be contingent on your successful completion of that diversion program. You can get more information about that from the clerk of the court or the pretrial services division. Counts 2 and 3, I accept your plea of no contest. I find you guilty. Those will be reflected as convictions on your record. I will impose no jail time. Just need to pay the fine. Now, Ms. Biggs, does your office have any objection to the fine being imposed as a lump sum, $2,000 within 30 days? What's the defendant's financial situation like?
We are not opposed, Your Honor. He's prepared to pay it.
All right, and he has the funds to pay for the DUI diversion as well?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Portola, this is interest of justice while you're pushing to dismiss those.
That's correct, Your.
All right. So, counts 2 and 3 you found guilty, sir. You are being assessed a $2,000 fine. Count 4 is dismissed, and count 1 I enter a conditional dismissal. You will have 90 days to complete the DUI diversion program, 30 days to pay the fine. Assuming both of those things are done and you don't get charged with anything else or violate the terms of the diversion program once you enter into it, you will be all set with this. Is his license currently suspended?
We don't believe so, Your Honor.
Does the state have any motion for that?
No, Your Honor. As long as the diversion program is completed on time, we believe that in the interest of justice, this is fair.
All right. And he was being held without bail, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Just given the public safety interest with someone who was held without bail, I am going to impose a SWAM GPS tether as my condition on top of the plea deal. Ms. Biggs, do you have any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, that is so ordered. Make sure you get the fine paid. Get him into the diversion program. Mr. McNamee, I wish you good luck, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Wait, does this mean I can't drink at all? What does the device mean?
The SCRAM, it monitors whether you're drinking at all times, but it'll only be in this context used if there's a question as to whether you were operating a motor vehicle under the influence or if the diversion program imposes a requirement that also restricts you from drinking alcohol at times that you're not operating a motor vehicle or otherwise in violation of the law.
Okay, I understand, Your Honor.
So it's your responsibility to keep that bracelet charged. If you need a new battery for it or if the charger stops working, you need to call your lawyer straight away or have her reach out to the court and the pretrial services division. If that monitor dies and I don't have a way of finding out where you are and if you're drinking, I am going to revoke your diversion, and then you'll end up spending some time with me in the lockup here.
Understood, Your Honor.
Questions?
No, I understand. Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Biggs, do you have anything else for me?
No, Your Honor.
Very well. We are adjourned on 150 then.
Thank you, Miss Biggs. Very professional. Excuse me, sir. I shake your hand. Thank Thank you. Very professional. You shake my hand? There we go.
Of course.
Yes, thank you, sir. Until next time. Wait, hopefully not, though.
No, no.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Next time, sir. Alright, that's what I have on the docket for today. Does anybody here have a traffic violation that they do not have a case open for they wish to contest?
Your Majesty, I got a violation, but it's a criminal thing. It's not traffic, man.
How old are you, sir?
18, sir.
Alright, step forward.
Oh, I need my briefcase. It's my first time doing this. Are you a lawyer, man?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna need your card after this.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Do I step up here, Your Honor, or like over here? Where do I go?
First you just step up there. And then,
Okay.
I'm gonna have you sworn in just so that we're all aware of what's going on. One of my bailiffs, if you'll swear him in. Sir, state your full name for the record.
Anthony Philip Johnson, sir.
Alright. What is the record number that you're here for today?
55303. Your sir. Yo, how do I is it your honor, your majesty? It's your honor, right? I've been hearing all these lawyer dudes saying that, so is that what I'd say?
I'm gonna ask you not to talk like you're on the street here. Don't say yo in my courtroom, but yeah, your
I
honor,
apologize,
sir.
Your
It's all
honor.
fine.
Oh, okay. I apologize, Your Honor.
Mr. Portola, are you able to appear for the state on this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Alright. Bailiff, if you'll swear in Mr. Johnson here.
Sure thing, Judge. Mr. Johnson, please raise your right hand.
Yeah.
Do you solemnly state that the testimony you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You are now under oath. Please remember that
So
giving
help
false
me God.
testimony may subject you to prosecution for perjury under San Andreas Penal Code, Section 118.
Alright, Mr. Johnson, before you speak, because you're also a defendant in this case, I just want to remind you of the right to remain silent. Because of the offenses you're charged with, you have the right to an attorney and have one appointed for you if you can't afford it. Anything you say here will be used by that gentleman to prosecute you, so please be careful with what you say. Would you like to proceed without an attorney?
Yeah, for now, Your Honor.
Alright, the defendant's waiving his right for now, but we'll subject that to revisitation. Mr. Johnson, I just want to make sure I have the correct record here. You were born April 20th, 2006.
Yes, sir.
You still reside in Crocodile Drive?
Yes, sir.
Kind of weird. A lot of people must live up there. Alright, I see 3 charges against you here. Violation of San Andreas Vehicle Code 2800.2. Reckless evading as a felony charge. Carries a fine of $75,000 and 1 year in the state penitentiary as a penalty. Possess controlled substance without prescription in violation of the Health and Safety Code, Section 11350. Also a felony. Possessing a counterfeit fake ID, violation of Penal Code 5295C, misdemeanor. Carries a fine of $1,000.
Yes, sir.
You prepared to enter a plea? Not guilty, no contest, guilty, or would you like to plead?
I want to submit a motion to dismiss the charges, sir.
Okay. Making a verbal motion, or you have a written one?
I got both, sir. I could give you like the written one, but I'd also like to say it. Can I do like the saying it?
Yeah, I just need a copy for myself and then for the state's attorney here. You can read it. you want to approach the bailiff to hand him that, he can distribute those.
Okay, sir. Can I put my briefcase down, like, on here, sir?
Yes,
or...
you may. I mean, you should put it behind the desk behind you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I believe this case is filed under my charges. Would you like me to step up to the stand with the state?
Yep. If you need a moment to speak with Mr. Portola, that's fine.
Please.
There you go.
Your
3
Honor,
copies,
are we
right?
able to use the jury room for a few minutes?
Yes, you may.
There you go.
And if we can get a copy of that motion.
Yep, I will get that to the defense and the judge.
Perfect.
There's your copy, Judge. And I will get the defense theirs.
And just to clarify, Your Honor, for like them, this motion to dismiss is on the grounds for failure to establish probable cause, violation of due process, prejudicial delay, and failure to meet the minimum legal standards for prosecution, sir.
Alright, just give me a moment here till I can get Mr. Portola back, and we'll go through this motion you got.
Thank you, sir. Can I step back, sir?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thank you, man. Yo, man, I'm gonna make a career out of this, dude.
If I didn't know any better, I think you'd have lost.
Yo, like, I'm not even gonna lie, low-key chat GPT this shit, man, but hey, I think it's gonna work. Sir? Yo, yes, I'm sorry. Your Honor, can I make an observation remark to the defense, or the state?
No, you can make a remark to me, though.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. My father had a receding hairline, and I know a good doctor. I was just gonna let him know.
That's okay. You need to be cordial in the courtroom, sir. That's not very nice.
I apologize, Your Honor. Won't happen again. I was just I thought that was
you against him on the merits, but I won't let you.
Your Honor, the state would motion at this time for court-provided Rogaine, if possible.
We'll see if that can be arranged.
Your Honor, if I may speak for a moment.
Sure.
So, review of the motion and a review of the paperwork in front of us. The state has not had time to process through the paperwork as well as speak with all deputies involved and file a criminal complaint. At this time, we're not able to proceed to trial today.
Your Honor, can I rebuttal?
I understand. We'll set a trial date in the future here. I will entertain the motion to dismiss on the probable cause hearing. Are you being held in custody, Mr. Johnson? No, you just appeared on your own. So what kind of bail are you on?
I did put a bail. Do you need like the
How much
what do you
did
need?
they have you put out?
I believe it was like 75,000, sir. My mom helped me.
$75,000.
I'm not entirely sure, sir. My mom did that for me.
Oh, your parent. Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
Are they willing to pay for an attorney for you? Or you just want to do this on your own?
I just kind of wanted to do this now, sir, because as I told you. Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
There's no redo, right? If this doesn't go the way you want it to. I just want to make
So-
sure you're voluntarily waiving.
So
your
what you're
right
saying
to
is
have
I
an
can't
attorney.
get an attorney afterwards if this doesn't get dismissed?
No, you certainly can, but what happened, what you say here is entered onto
Oh.
the record. And
Oh yeah,
everyone
100%,
should
Your
be
Honor. That's
aware of
okay.
that.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm pretty confident I could get this dismissed now, and not have to spend any more money of my parents. So I just, you know.
All right. I'll hear your probable cause statement. Let me just get Deputy Stallings to read his affidavit into the record first.
Do you want me to
Sorry,
sit
were you
down, Your
speaking
Honor?
to me, Your Honor?
Yes. Let him step forward and explain to us what he's got.
Got to swear
Alright,
him in, right, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay. Deputy Stallings, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state that this testimony you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You are now under oath. Please remember that giving false testimony may subject you to prosecution for perjury under San Andreas Penal Code Section 118.
Alright, so, Your Honor, I was in the Polito. I
don't have any cases.
3 Adam beat that night. I was patrolling Polito Bay area. I observed Mr. Johnson commit a traffic violation, which gave me probable cause for a stop. I stopped the vehicle. He was immediately.
How was your day going?
Not resist.
Traffic violation.
I believe
we're doing probable cause here.
Yeah. Stand by. I have paperwork here.
Ill-prepared deputies, but I think this defendant kind of sprung it randomly.
It was a written warning for a red light violation.
You have a reference number for the warning?
55293, Your Honor.
Okay, go on. Proceed.
Your Honor, may I get that? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but is that like on my screen here or something?
Yeah, it should be.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
Without warning for red light BC21.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
So upon talking with Mr. Johnson, I smelled a odor of marijuana coming from the vehicle. I asked him if he'd give consent to search the vehicle. He said no, and at that point he started getting an attitude with me. So I called Sergeant Jacob Newton for backup because he requested the supervisor because I believe because I asked for a search, asked if he's to give consent for a search, and at that point. Sergeant Newton determined that we had probable cause to search the vehicle without consent because of the smell of marijuana. And then when he, I should also add, when he went to put his warning in his glove box, Sergeant Newton saw a bottle of appeared to be pills, I believe, from my memory. So that gave us probable cause to search the vehicle. And then upon telling him to step out, he refused, which we reminded him Pennsylvania versus Mims. And then he took off in his vehicle. We initiated a pursuit. Pursuit lasted, I'd say, about 15 minutes, up reaching speeds of upwards, I believe, 120 miles an hour. He eventually wrecked out on Joshua Road in between the sheriff's office and Joshua, fled on foot, and we were able to take him into custody.
I've never smelled any
motel.
marijuana
Upon
scented
searching his
cologne.
person, we found a marijuana grinder.
There are some nasty colognes
4
out there.
counterfeit IDs.
I know that.
3 counterfeit IDs. I apologize. And then 3 baggies of fentanyl, which I tested with a field test kit. They were positive for fentanyl.
Presumptive positive?
Yes, Your Honor, I had a presumptive positive. I don't have the weight of them with me right now because I was a little bit unprepared about this. And then he was booked on those 3 charges that he's requested to be dismissed. That's all, Your Honor.
Very well. You can have a seat, sir.
You mean Schedule 1?
Is it my turn, Your Honor?
I'm just going to see if Mr. Portola wants to add anything, and then I'll let you speak, Mr. Johnson.
Your Honor, the state would just like to mention as well that we will recap that in the criminal complaint and discovery as that we will be filing in this case.
My turn. Your Honor.
Yes, step forward.
Oh, let me grab my paper. Your Honor, as I stated for the court, I do respectfully move to have these charges dismissed, and I do ask the court to consider the following. One, there is no probable cause on record. I was arrested on May 17, 2025, and as of today, June 8, 2025, the arrest record submitted by Officer Andrew Stallings still contains no narrative. That means that there is no written explanation, none at all, of what allegedly happened or what the officer observed to justify these charges. That's not a clerical error. It's a critical procedural failure and a denial of due process, sir. I have been expected to defend myself against these felony charges, yet I have not received written documentation describing what led to my arrest. The absence of this narrative does leave me unable to understand or challenge the facts behind these allegations. This does violate my rights under the Los Angeles Constitution and the 14th Amendment equivalent, sir. It has now been over 3 weeks since my arrest. During this time, the arrest record has remained incomplete. This delay, combined with the total lack of explanation for the charges, has harmed my ability to prepare a defense and undermines the fairness of the legal process. There's no report of how any evidence was discovered, whether the search was lawful, who recovered the items, or whether I was in possession, sir. With no narrative, there is no documented probable cause, no body cam reference, and no chain of custody, and no legal basis for any of the items allegedly tied to me. Mr. Stallings did say that he doesn't have to wait.
From our reports,
I do want to say that is
reason,
most likely due
our
because
reports need to
there
be
is no
complete as well.
narrative, sir. Los Angeles law, like all proper jurisdictions, requires the evidence be supported by written probable cause. Arrest record 55303 fails to meet this standard, sir. Proceeding with prosecution based on zero written explanation will both violate my terms and the constitutional protections. I do want to say, though, however, if this court does not find cause to dismiss the charges outright, I am fully prepared to submit a formal motion to suppress all evidence, challenging the admissibility of all evidence obtained during the arrest due to the violation of my rights, the unlawful search and seizure, and the absence of any procedural documentation, sir. In light of the missing narrative, procedural errors, and constitutional concerns, I do respectfully request that all charges tied to the arrest record 55303 be dismissed with prejudice, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Portola, you have any rebuttal to the defense's arguments in favor of their motion to dismiss?
Your Honor, we obviously do object to this motion. It should be noted as well that if an arrest leads to charges, any subsequent indictment or information must be filed within 30 days of the arrest. We're still not over the 30-day milestone, Your Honor.
All right.
Oh, I was kind of rooting for the
Your
kid.
Honor, may I speak?
Sure.
I just want a clarification. Is it not when Deputy Stallings signs and turns in that paper, does that not mean it's already put in? That he can still have changes?
They can ask for leave of the court to amend it, but as it stands, I don't see any narrative as you're mentioning. So, Mr. Portola, I have a question for you. How am I supposed to keep him on a $75,000 bond when we have nothing to establish the probable cause on the record?
The silence
Your
in the
Honor,
air is
would
thick.
would the state be able to have a reference from the sheriff's office highlighting when a report must be filed?
Yes, we can certainly get that for you.
Okay. That would be very good to have noted down, Your Honor, because we are tending to agree with you that there definitely is a delay here, and we definitely should not be holding this defendant on such a large bail for such a large amount of time without having anything filed. But we do want to ensure that this was done within the Sheriff's Office guidelines and SOP.
Alright, so I'm being informed here by my stenographer for some reason that the Sheriff's Office policy is they have standard is 2 days before narrative arrest must be submitted unless they receive supervisory extension from approval. Do we have any indication that he received that?
One moment here. Your Honor, it appears that that has not been.
Very well. Mr. Portola, do you make any argument that the search that revealed the narcotics was justified for other than the traffic stop? Is there any other probable cause that I'm missing?
Your Honor, without the proper report, the state is not prepared to answer that.
All right. In that case, I think Mr. Johnson has a point here. I am going to find no probable cause. However, I will dismiss the complaint without prejudice. So, if the state wishes to refile the charges, they will have to go for an indictment this time on the felony charges because it can't be an information arrest. So they'll have to file for an indictment and an arrest warrant if you wish to pick this back up once you have the correct paperwork. Mr. Johnson, I'll order the clerk of the court to refund your entire $75,000 surety
Oh,
bond.
snap. Okay. Sorry, Your Honor. I just. Oh, I
Just try to keep your composure here. I know you're happy to hear the news, but I need to warn you of a couple of things. I'm dismissing this without prejudice, which means the government is going to have a chance to build a proper case file and allege the facts that they need to allege to try to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the offenses you're charged with. I do see that there was a vehicle code warning issued to you. I just got to say a couple things here. First of all, if you're going to drive around with a bunch of illegal shit in your car, don't blow a red light. That's like, I feel like that's like how to be a criminal 101. I'm not saying you should be a criminal, but that's kind of a fumble there. I also think that you're taking an incredible risk by possessing fentanyl. There are
Alleged, Your Honor.
Statistics. I'm just speaking from my point of view here. It is alleged that you possess those. That's correct. What I'm saying is I think it's an incredibly risky way to be living your life. You know, I don't know if you consume those drugs or if you did have the drugs you're alleged to have, if you would hypothetically consume them. But I can only hope that you find something else to do with your free time there. Additionally, running from the police is just stupid. If that is what happened,
I agree, Your Honor.
Confirm that it is. I'm not asking you to tell me if that did happen, but I am saying that if that was what happened, you would do very well to not run from them in the future. They will find you eventually, even if you got a nice little fast car and you get away that time. They'll come to me. I'll put out an arrest warrant, and your parents aren't going to be able to get you out of that one. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you need to wise up quick here and straighten up your act. Don't get to a point where people are alleging that you've done things like this in the future, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, permission from the court to pick up this mic and drop it? It was worth a shot, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Can I go now?
I appreciate that you asked and didn't just do it. So.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, you're free to go, sir.
Yo, chat. Permission to
Do you
dap
have a
up.
camera on you? Are you live streaming?
No,
this?
no, sir. No.
Who
Permission
are you just
to.
talking to?
No one, sir. I was just talking to myself, inner monologue, sir.
Bailiff, this man was metal detected, correct?
To my knowledge, he should have been, not personally by myself.
Doesn't he just
Yes, he was.
gonna make sure he doesn't have a camera on him. That's in violation of the court's standing orders.
Of course, Your Honor.
And I heard him make a reference to chat, which I understand to be a common concept for live streamers, and I would be very disappointed if you were.
I believe so,
live
Your Honor.
streaming this, Mr. Johnson.
I'm just gonna give you a quick pat down.
Your Honor, the state would also like to object about his my hairline being live streamed if that's the case.
Oh, yes, we will get you set up for suing for damages if that's so.
Okay, I'm not fighting the camera on him, Your Honor. I think it might have just been a slip of the tongue.
Alright.
Your Honor, could I ask permission for one more?
You could ask.
Permission to dap up. That guy dressed really nice. He's a defense attorney. I just feel like he looks like he's proud of me. I might, when I go to college, I might just work for him.
Denied also, but you can.
I'll take.
Court's adjourned.
I'll take my win, Your Honor. Thank you so much. Okay.
Hey, bro, good shit.
All right, Mr. Johnson, don't get yourself in more trouble. Take care.
Yes, sir.
I want you to get a lawyer, because if they do indict you, you're gonna be back here in front of me for 2 felonies. So make sure you get yourself a lawyer. If your parents have 75 grand for bail, they can get you a lawyer.
Yep, sir. Thank you. I'm out.
All right.
Yeah, good shit, bro. Good shit.
I dropped
Way
the
to
ball
go,
on that
man.
one. Thank you guys. Oh, shit. Drop that bike.
All right. Do we have any other matters before the court today? All right. If there's nothing further, we will stand adjourned. I
Thank
have
you.
18 holes of golf to play. Goodbye.
Wow, court's pretty cool.
All right, folks. As you can see and hear, it is the end of that. Hello, Dave.
Chief.
You see why we gotta make sure our guys do report.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I think I've seen some ChatGPT papers on the
Oh.
podium. Maybe that's the
But
way.
anyhow.
Oh shit, man. ChatGPT. That's all I have to do.
It's a way to go.
That is the end of this court session. I want to thank everybody who hung in there.
Wait, is court over?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I'm not coming back then. What the hell?
Hung out with me. Rest in peace to Matthew. Wow, he's an attorney. He was cool. Anywho, like I said, more of a low energy stream, a little bit of a different perspective on some different things that we do here in SLRP. Apparently somebody's trying to jack a car. That is awesome. So anywho, ooh, this was a good place. Oh, that's loud. So anywho, I want to thank you all for joining me. We shall be back again tomorrow night for another SLRP patrol. This will be a regular patrol. Same old exciting stuff that you are used to. So on that note, let me write something down from YouTube here. Recommends. So anywho, until then, thanks everybody again. Be safe, and we will see you on the next one.